Right.
We were talking about helping the team bring order and structure.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is it's almost like, you know, you have kids. Kids want your children to eat vegetables. And say you allowed your kid not to eat vegetables for so long. Now they're 6, 7 years old. Yeah. No, you need to get healthy. You need to eat these vegetables right now.
A real something.
And you try to stuff a broccoli in their mouth, they're gonna spit it right out. We as humans, we automatically we're driven to resist against change. Yeah. We reject change. Like that's our natural instinct. Is to not, no, I don't want to change. This is what I've been doing. This how long this time I'm gonna do it. Yeah. You know, and a lot of times you run into those type of people that see situations from that standpoint. You know what I mean? I like to look at it as a football team. So you think of a football team. You have your offensive line, you got your receiver, you got your tight end, you got your running backs. But let's just say the offensive line, you know, I don't want to block this person. I've always blocked that person. But see, that offensive lineman, you as a leader, they don't understand or they don't see that, you know, you're here for this particular reason, for this play. And once we run this play, you'll see it. But a lot of times people don't see it from that perspective initially.
Right.
So what you have to do is, the main thing, you have to build trust between you and the team. So anybody that comes in like a bulldozer and you come rushing, this is how we're going to do it, either my way or the highway, most of the time the people take the highway. And then, you know, you're left in kind of the situation where you can't lead if you don't have anyone to lead. The people that you serve, when I said serve as leaders, because we have to serve them, the people that we serve are the most important people to your job after the Lord. You know what I mean? And the pastor. They're your main focus. You want to make sure morale is good. You want to make sure that they're good. The spirituality, you want to connect with them, talk with them, create a sense of community, which is what LaRue has done so well. And it's something that I actually learned from her, building that sense of community. Because, you know, myself, my backstory, I'm a male. I've been the only male in leadership under the choir.
It was Anthony and a choir of women.
Yeah, so
you know, which a lot of times, and when churches are smaller, a lot of women are involved in choir and in ministry.
And I got married pretty much early my first year, so you can imagine me talking about, hey, I'm having community fellowship with all these sopranos and altos.
No, you're not.
So, you know, when LaRue came, she was able to really, you know, hone in on that and make that a thing, a real thing for us. And now we have a great community. But,
and we have more men, by the way.
And we have more men. Now we have more men. But the main thing, you want to build that sense of trust, you know. And a lot of things, one thing a leader can ask, one of the first things a leader can do is say, what do you think? You know, and you ask the team, what do you all think about such and such? You know, and you're probably gonna get a lot. A lot of people are scared to get that because it opens up Pandora's box or whatever the case. But I'm not saying do that every week. You know, but if you have a meeting or whatever, say it's a group of leaders or a group, a few people that's in your team that you trust or whatever the case is, if it's a small group. I wouldn't do it if it's 150 member choir because that's, you know, it's a lot. Yeah. But if you know, most of us are probably around the 20, 30, 15, maybe 40 range. I say, what do you all think? You know, and you're gonna open up. People are gonna start feeling safe to speak. And they're gonna speak and they're gonna say a few things. Now what you do, you just choose, you find a few points. You know, I like what that person said. You know, you might find something that you may find beneficial. But then a lot of them, you might not. You might say, that doesn't line up with the vision, that doesn't line up with what we're doing here, you know. But you don't tell them that, like, that don't line up with the vision. You say, okay, you receive it, you receive it, you receive it. And then you implement something that they may have brought, you know, something that you can meet in the middle. And then by doing that, they're like, oh, wow, they did something that I wanted to do. I never thought that they would do that. I never thought that I could do something like that. So now in turn, they feel obligated or loyal to you to say, man, they did something for me that they didn't have to do. Because they understand that you're in that position. Whether you're hired or appointed to be that lead, they understand that, you know, because they're there under your leadership. So for them to say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do this because, you know, this person, what was I saying? person.
Whether you were appointed or hired to serve in that position.
They didn't have to take my advice, but they did. So now I want to do what they asked for, and then other people see that, they like, oh wow, that person did that. You know, they're a good person.
And just kind of just piggybacking even more, you know, when I've always kind of gone by the thought that if your team knows that you care about them and that you respect them, then they will, in turn, like you said, you know, be loyal to you or be more willing to follow your lead.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people are just afraid of that. They're afraid of whatever the word is, relinquishing power.
Yeah.
And it's not
being vulnerable.
Being vulnerable, you know, and it's not. We have to understand the power is not of us.
Right.
It's not our power. Like I have this power.
Yeah.
No, you're appointed there. Be confident in yourself as a leader. Be confident. You've been appointed by God. Number one, He's put you in that position. He has all power.
Yeah.
So be confident and trust and rest in that and walk forward and be able to work with the people that God puts there, because He put them there as well.
Yeah.
So
and you know, and that's why the Bible says how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, because it's at that point of unity that the blessings of the Lord flow.
Yep.
You know, when we can trust one another, when we can serve with one another, that's when we can have a community and we have unity within that team. And so,
I'll let you end it with this.
Yeah.
This is probably for another session.
Yeah.
But the downfall of a lot of music ministries is ego. A lot of people that say they can do it by themselves, and a lot of people that do it by themselves, it doesn't usually work out.
Yeah.
And they usually find another church within 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So you need those people around you. You gotta embrace them, and work with them.
Yeah.
Incorporate them, is that the word?
Incorporate them.
Incorporate them to what it is that we are trying to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's my little brother, but he's my boss, and you'll probably see him a lot more on this WLA page. He doesn't know it yet, but that's what's going to happen. So anyway, just wanted to expound upon the question that was asked about how do you get people to come along with you when you want to bring order and structure to your team. So I hope that helped. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Peace.